Yeah.
Damn, Gabe is so funny.
Yeah.
It was a good
We had
night.
a good podcast yesterday. It was fun.
Really?
What did you guys talk about?
There's a little bit of conspiracy, a little bit of flat Earth, a little bit of philosophy.
Oh, are you a flat earther?
Borderline.
Really?
Whoa.
Really?
Unfortunately, yes.
Why?
Why do you believe the earth is flat?
Because I did ayahuasca and the spirits told me that
The
it was
spirits
flat.
told you.
Really?
That's
I think
part
that
of
was
it.
just in your subconscious and it got released and misinterpreted.
Are you
It's
serious?
in everybody's subconscious.
Well, yeah, if you've been exposed.
What
to
a-
Unfortunately, I really wish I wasn't.
What do you mean the
What
earth?
would prove to you that it wasn't?
What would prove to
Like
me,
if you flew out into space?
if I flew out into space, if I, well, one thing I would want to do is study the constellations because I think that that's a pretty big red flag, quite frankly.
Chart.
What do you mean? Is
Well,
a
you'd
red
have to like
flag?
chart them.
Yeah, you have to chart the.
The stars are what shows us is the biggest proof that the Earth is round without having to go to to space.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
It
How
moves.
so?
It moves.
The stars?
Yes, if the Earth was flat, you would look up and you'd see the same star tomorrow, the next day, but it goes up at an angle.
The earth is flat, the sky is round.
It goes up as an angle.
Yes, so if you look up at a
Tell
star
me this:
right now,
why? How come the stars don't move across the sky like the sun does?
because
sun
they're so
doesn't
far
move.
away you
If we're-
can't see it move.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That's depth perception.
No, that doesn't.
That's depth perception.
If something's far, okay, so
What the
this
fuck?
is very close to me, and that light is very far away, right?
Yes.
So if I'm rotating around, this picks up on one side, and then just because that's far away, it still moves across my field of vision.
Do you know how slow? Do you know
Yeah,
how
but you're
fast
also
they are?
moving around.
If you are right there,
Mm-hmm.
and let's just say that light down there,
Okay.
that is just from proportionally. That is just from Earth to Venus. The sun is that spire all the way out there. So if that spire started moving, you would see it very slowly move, even if it's moving at 5 miles or like 10 miles an hour. But you'd see it
also,
slowly
there's some
move 'cause it's
constellations you can't see certain times a year.
Also, if something's farther away, it should move faster.
No, no, it should move. It should appear slower.
Why?
Who are you saying no to?
To him.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
When you see,
Okay.
Let's get a piece of.
Look at the
right.
picture.
What
Look at
the
the picture of Jeremy. Literally, look at the picture of Jeremy.
Yes.
There's this vast universe, and you're looking at all of it, right? You're looking at all these galaxies, you're looking at a lot of shit that's really far away, right?
Yes.
More shit that you're looking at, right? But it's the same speed at all.
Do you know how fast the Earth is moving?
It's like 1,000 miles an hour.
Millions of miles an hour.
Not millions.
Bro, hundreds of thousands bare minimum.
I don't
It's
think
moving
it's
very
millions.
fast.
I don't think it's millions.
If it was
Spinning around?
okay, if it was millions, we'd be flying off.
Gravity.
It's spinning around or going
There's
around the
also
Earth?
Some things with
Or
gravity.
going around the sun or spinning around?
I'm talking about the rotation,
Rotation? Okay, then it's not millions. Yeah. How
and I don't think the
Fast
eclipse
is
not
Earth's-
the eclipse.
rotation?
Wait, what?
This is insane. Dude, I thought that I still think that you're smart, but you are a retard right now. This is retarded.
right.
Is it?
Yes.
Look at the picture of Jeremy on the
You've been-
window.
like this is just categorically wrong. You've been wrong on everything.
I don't know about that.
It moves slower the farther you are
What-
away.
Why would it?
Wait, so well, how do you believe that the Earth is flat?
How do I believe? What do you
Let me explain it this way. If it's something's far away,
Yeah.
let's say my perception right now, 50% of my perception is this, and the other 50 is this, right? So if this moves even that much, that was fast and just took out 25% of that eye's vision. Does that make sense? Are you with me? But if I'm looking out this way, if something moves like that just as fast, not only will I not really be able to see it, but also it will look slower because it's taking up less percentage of my sight. So the sun is close, like just for instance, the sun is closer to us than a galaxy that is light years away. So the galaxy isn't going to move because not only are we moving ourselves, the galaxy is moving so fast, yet is so far away that we can't perceive it because it's taking up a smaller portion of our sky.
Well, then it should only be in the sky for a very brief moment, but it's up the entire night.
Yeah, it's up the entire night because it's fucking huge.
It's up the entire night, but because it's fucking huge. I mean, not.
You lost
It's
me.
not
I'm
visually
sorry. I have no
huge.
idea what you guys are talking about now.
Visually, I know that it's bigger than the sun, allegedly. But as far as like,
Allegedly?
as far as what you see, as far as what you actually see, when you look up into the sky, right? The sun is bigger than whatever else we're seeing. The stars,
Yeah.
right? Just one for one, right?
Yeah. So is the moon the same size as the sun?
I don't know.
Just stare at the sun and figure it out.
Could be. Who knows?
The sun's pretty big.
Okay, so what do you?
By the way, here's the other thing.
Please tell me you're doing a bit, dude.
This is not something that I have looked into with a tremendous amount of depth.
Really?
Correct.
Not a
By
lot
the
of
way, I
depth
don't think it's something
perception.
you've looked into with a tremendous amount of depth either.
Yeah, because I trust the science.
I don't,
Why?
because I don't trust institutions.
This has been a thing for hundreds of years.
That's what
I
they
think
say.
more than
Think
that.
about
That's what they
how
want you to
Well,
believe.
because originally, if I'm not mistaken, we thought
Here's
it was
the
a
thing.
globe.
Here's the
and then we
problem:
thought it was
is
flat.
you say this is the science, but you actually can't explain the science.
I've explained the science. You
No,
just
you haven't.
the science is
First of all,
explained.
everything that you just said was nothing about.
Wait,
the
so
scientific.
hang on. What shape do you think the Earth is?
I'm not sure.
What do you think a flat Earth looks like?
I don't know.
how are more people not falling off the ocean?
Why would they
more
hide
people
the
not-
shape of the Earth?
To make you feel irrelevant and disconnect you from God.
I already feel that way. With the Earth being round, I already feel that way.
That's the point.
Why would they
Yeah,
have
you
to
just
go
kind
the
of
extra
you
step?
just kind of proved.
No,
his
why
point,
would they have to
dude.
go the extra step of making it flat?
Because if it's
making
flat,
it round.
Here's why.
Well,
Right.
all right. So if I found out that
If it's flat,
Dude, you're programmed.
if it's
You're in the Matrix,
dude. All I'm saying is if it is flat, right? If Earth is definitely flat, if it is flat, then we were definitely created by God and put here by a creator.
Sure.
Right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
is that
No,
like in the Bible?
I think that's a leap of judgment.
or like is that
If it's flat, how did we get here, and where did it come from?
If it's round, how did we
put
get here?
yourself? What's that?
if it's round? How did we get here?
Yeah,
The
it's the
shape
same question.
of
The shape
what
doesn't
we're on
matter.
I don't think
means
the science has
nothing.
provided an even reasonable explanation for how we got here. Quite frankly.
And that I'll agree with.
Okay.
But let's no pun intended circle back to the spherical debate.
Yeah.
When something, in order for I can't do it. Let's say
sex.
that there's a ball of dough.
Okay.
That's great. I push it down.
Yeah.
This is flat. Now I'm making this flat.
Yeah.
In space, there's no gravity. There's no nothing.
Okay.
So when something in space is, you're really only going to see orbs in space. The only time that something is not an orb is if it's a chunk of another structure, like a planet. It will then smooth out to be a globe or a sphere, or if it's put up there by humans, like satellites. Okay. So when you're in space, how is it supposed to squish down flat if that breaks?
I think what
If
Matt's
it's-
implying is that
if it's flat, then your entire concept of space it gets thrown out the window.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But
is
if
that
it's-
if
if
flat,
it's-
there's no space. Space would only be above.
If it's a globe, though, like everything else, like I feel like we've decided that, not decided, but we found out everything's a sphere.
So like flat Earth is basically like there is no universe. It's just Earth and then like
Well, it's
shit
not that
above
there-
us.
I mean, there is a universe. We exist within it, but we've been lied to about the nature of it.
All right. Who knows about it? Who knows the truth?
Who knows the truth?
Yeah. And how have they kept it a secret for this long? How do they decide who's going to take on the knowledge?
The people at the top of the government and everybody who
Yeah, but that's
everybody
constantly
who holds more power than
that's constantly going in and out. There's constantly new people.
No, I
They're
think
all
I
keeping it a
will say
secret.
But, okay,
to Matt's
not
point.
in the top of the government.
I do think the Earth is round, but there has been people who have been in charge of everything for a lot longer than we've been around. I do believe that.
They have nothing to do with it.
This is a great example. I didn't even need to look the first one up, which is gravity, but lunar eclipses.
I think that gravity. Well, okay. Again, I can't articulate all these arguments. It's not something that I'm super invested in, quite frankly. But again, gravity and eclipses and all these things, according to some people, make more sense.
Yeah. How does gravity? How does gravity mean that the Earth is round?
No, tell me how gravity works. Time out. Tell me how gravity works.
How gravity works?
How gravity works.
Well,
what is pulling this object to the Earth?
Because the Earth is bigger than this.
And how does that create a force?
Because the more mass you have, the more attractive you are.
How?
Because that's just how it works.
Because mass exists, it exerts some.
So if there's no mass out there in space, shit is just flying around, right?
Yeah.
But things, when I can't put a physical description to it other than this, but that's not explaining the actual mechanism towards it. But you'll see out in space asteroids coming in and being sucked into the mass of Earth and then going into Earth and crashing into Earth. So this is trying to go to the core of Earth right now, but it can't because there's this table.
Okay.
So
it's like magnets and shit.
Yeah, it's like magnets and shit. Yeah.
So tell me this: why does a helium-filled balloon go up?
Because it's lighter than the oxygen.
It's
electrons and protons and stuff.
If something is lighter than oxygen, then it's going to go up.
If something is lighter than so that.
Or I shouldn't say oxygen, the atmosphere we have here on Earth. Yeah.
Okay, so if it's lighter, it goes up. But then why is the force of gravity not pulling down?
Because gravity is one of the weakest forces in the universe. Gravity is one of the weakest forces on not only the Earth, but just in space. Okay. And there are other things that are more powerful than that.
So we're on a spinning ball that's moving at 1,000 miles an hour?
Depends on what way you're doing. Rotation, yes.
I'm talking about the rotation.
Yeah, the rotation,
1,000 miles an hour.
Yes.
So then how is the liquids from the ocean
Our atmosphere is dense.
Gravity.
Our atmosphere is dense.
Yeah, but I thought the gravity, he just said, was the weakest force.
Gravity,
it's still stronger than us.
It's our atmosphere that's keeping the water in and gravity. So it's
and
double.
Also to Matt's point, the only reason that gravity is a thing is because people decided it was a thing.
Yeah, once we decide
There's
that
this
gravity
universally
is real,
agreed upon and proven.
Joseph, get me! I'm flying away. Get it? Because it looked like to the camera.
Gravity is what we call it, but there's definitely something that keeps us locked down. And
here's the other thing.
Sure, but someone decided a mathematic equation that's gonna.
They didn't decide. They sat down and figured it out.
Gravity is what
they figured out what to tell people.
Gravity is what keeps the atmosphere around Earth, right?
So
yes.
It keeps all the air molecules here around Earth, right? And then outside of that is a vacuum.
Yes and no. It's a vacuum. The space is a vacuum, but there is gravity around Earth that goes past our atmosphere. So there's gravity on the moon. There's gravity on Mars. There's gravity on the sun. And all these gravitational pulls are keeping us in our orbit. So yes, space is a vacuum the further you go, but gravity will still be let's say you're billions of miles away from any galaxy. There will be some small gravitational pull from the closest galaxy pulling you back towards them, but it'll be so weak that you're going to stay in a vacuum. So let's say you go right outside of our atmosphere, there's still Earth's gravity that's pulling you towards. It's not just, this is Earth's gravity, this is not.
So do you think the planets don't exist?
Do you think astronauts are all liars?
I'm not sure.
And everyone in space programs?
Yeah, probably.
What about
Who
people
killed
in space
JFK?
programs?
Who killed the CIA or the FBI?
I think the CIA just let it happen. I don't think they did it. I think that guy actually killed him.
No, they actually orchestrated it. They had to.
They might have patsied him, but
so that means they did it.
No, not technically, because gravity.
Yes, gravity
Anyways,
killed JFK.
let's talk about.
No, I like this, dude. I like this episode. This
So,
is the
like,
most
your
fun.
argument seems to be like, if you can't like significantly prove me wrong, then you're.
How does the sun
Not
set
right.
at
No,
different
I think his
times?
argument is
It's
just
not really
don't
my
trust the
argument.
people in charge. Is that?
And that's
Not really.
Yeah, but
that's
No,
a
my
I'm cool with
argument
that.
is it's more. First of all, everything that you've said so far is not anything that I didn't know before, right? And my point, all I'm saying is I'm more agnostic to it at this point.
I guess so. I guess a better point is, why do you think the Earth is flat?
Why do I think the Earth is?
Yeah, or why do you not?
No,
Why do you not know that it's round?
I don't actually know the shape.
so you find it plausible that it could be flat.
Yes.
And why do you feel that way?
That changes
Why do I
a
feel
lot.
that way? Well, I've heard some people talk about it, and they have broken down the science around the globe, and they have found some very significant flaws within it.
Like what?
Like a lot of the details that I haven't
Like
memorized.
the ocean stuff you said?
Things like that, but there's other little proofs, other mathematical proofs where they're saying the math just doesn't add up.
There's like curvature and shit.
I'm aware of that.
Every pilot would have to be in on it.
But the problem.
The accusation has been that a lot of pilots are aware of this.
Unless,
the problem is
Unless-
that
pilots, though.
to Matt's point, and what I'm sort of open to, is that this is this is all just what I'm open to. I can't even say it.
What are you open to?
These are very complex topics.
What I'm open to is that the idea that this is all just a Truman show, and that every time we get into an airplane, they just kind of shake it, and we don't actually go up into the sky. And they just get some.
Just as plausible.
They get some Asian people to like come and like walk around in different clothes, and then
It's all just a simulator. It's a ride.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm actually a paid actor.
You just paint other white people as
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're like, oh wow, China is so it's so
China's
cool,
beautiful.
and that, but it's really
It's just Hamtramck
Yeah.
in Beijing.
that I'm open to as being the case.
Yeah. Okay. That and I actually really believe that,
Yeah,
because the math hasn't pointed out the fact that it is.
this could all just be a Truman show.
Yeah.
They're all speaking another language, but I don't even know. I think they're just saying nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. If
Exactly,
I don't
yeah.
understand what they're saying, then how am I supposed to know? That could have been.
Yeah.
That was Scott.
Dude, I went to this.
The number one Metro Check Comedy Podcast. No big deal.